Who am I? Well, I've just been introduced to you, so now you know who I am, even if you didn't know already. And Jesus asked this question to his disciples. A bit of an odd question to ask friends, people you've spent any length of time with. In today's world, we have so much stress put on our identity. What is our status in society? How do you respond when somebody asks you who you are? The average person responds to that question by telling the other person what they do for a living. You know, teacher, nurse, accountant, retired, as appropriate. We often define who we are by what we do. But today I've got 4 who questions for us to consider. The first one is the words of Jesus when he says to his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They answered very quickly, John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. Jesus asked his disciples many questions. Questions about him, good questions designed to put people on the spot and get honest replies. This question is a safe question because to answer it required no conviction, commitment or risk. You can almost hear the schoolboy relief in the disciples' voices. "Oh, that's an easy one, I know this one," as they scrambled to answer the question. John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah. There'd been a lot of speculation, rumours swirling around, a lot of wondering among those who followed and listened to Jesus. People still wonder about Jesus today. The scriptures are full of many descriptions as to who the Messiah is. In Isaiah, the wonderful counselor, mighty God. Son of the Most High in Luke's Gospel. A rabbi and a teacher, as Nicodemus said in John 3. God the Father in Matthew chapter 17 verse 5 saying, "This is my Son whom I love. Listen to him." Many descriptions. But the feedback from the disciples with the thoughts of the people talked about historical characters. The second who is that second question from Jesus. Who do you say that Jesus is? Jesus had asked this very broad question to his disciples, but now he narrowed it down to the personal. Who do you say I am? He was not looking for what others had said, he was looking for an "I believe" statement. So the question for us in the here and now is, who do you say Jesus is? Don't answer the question too quickly. Take your time. Because Jesus is not looking for what our parents, friends or ministers believe about him. He's looking for a real and a personal response from us. We need to decide individually if God sending his Son to this earth and dying on the cross was necessary for us to have a relationship with God and forgiveness of sins. So who do you say Jesus is? For the disciples, you can almost imagine the awkward silence, the shuffling of the feet, the coughing, the looking around the crowd. Every one of them hoping that somebody else will answer first. And then we cue Peter. Bold, reckless, earnest, impetuous Peter. When the silence becomes unbearable, he throws himself forward, answers the question as confidently as he can. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. An A+ answer. The whole gospel story in a nutshell. We need to decide that if we say that Jesus is the Christ, then we must move aside from the throne of our own life and let him rule. The third who is the question, who do you say that Jesus is to others? Are you able to put into words what Jesus means to you? It's true that some have a real gift for sharing the gospel with other people, but nobody has the gift of telling your story of faith and hope better than you. Because it's your story, not mine. If somebody asks you that question, can you share what your life was like before Jesus? Share how Jesus became a part of your life? And share how Jesus transformed your life? And the fourth who is, who do you say that Jesus is with your actions, with your lives? Do people see that Jesus means something in our attitudes, our behaviour, our dealings, our interactions with others? Or are we living lives which leave people questioning or confused? William Barclay, in his commentary on the Gospel of Matthew, says that our knowledge of Jesus must never be second-hand. A man might know every verdict ever passed on Jesus, be able to give a competent summary of the teaching about Jesus, and still not be a Christian. He did not only ask Peter, he asks every one of us, you and me. What do you think of me? Who do you think and say that I am? The questions that Jesus asked his disciples were there and then, but the questions are still relevant to us here and now. N.T. Wright writes that what you say about Jesus affects your whole worldview. If you see Jesus differently, everything changes. The question of Jesus, who do you say that I am, is an invitation to take personally and seriously the possibility that maybe we need to see him differently. Who do you say that I am? We have to answer that for ourselves, and our answers will disclose as much about ourselves as they do about him. Who am I? That's not the question for today. Who do you say that Jesus is? Who has he been to you in the past? Who is he now? And who do you hope he will be in the future? Amen.